Now we will discuss about definite integral. A definite integral is denoted by this symbol, then a to b fx dx, where a is called the lower limit of the integral and b is called the upper limit of the integral. Now, if you see this figure, we have curve y equal to fx. This is our curve y equal to fx, and there is our open closed interval from x equal to a to x equal to b. Okay, so we have area bounded between ordinates x equal to a, x equal to b, this curve, and x-axis. That is area of region PQRS. Okay, then the definite integral a to b fx dx is the area bounded by the curve y equal to fx, the ordinate x equal to a, x equal to b, and the x-axis. That means this definite integral a to b fx dx is the area of region PQSR. Now, if we divide the interval closed interval AB into n equal subintervals divided by open interval a plus h, open interval a plus h, a plus 2h, and by continuing this way, our nth subinterval will be closed interval a plus n minus 1h to a plus nh. So what we have done, we have divided the closed interval into n subinterval of width h. Now again, now what we do, we have divided this region into n intervals, n rectangles. These are n rectangles. Okay, so if we find the area of first rectangle, then it will comes out to be h into fa. For the first rectangle, length is fa and breadth is of course h, so area will be h into fa. Area of second rectangle will be h into fa plus h, and third will be h into fa plus 2h. If we continue this way, we will get the area of nth rectangle h into fa plus n minus 1h. If we find the area of total rectangles, then it comes out to be h into fa plus h plus fa plus 2h plus up to fa plus n minus 1h. So this is the sum of area of all rectangles. Now the area of PQRS. You see, some area is left if we find simply area of sum of area of rectangles. So what we take, we keep h as small as possible. So we take the limit of h tends to 0. If we take the limit h tends to 0 for this sum of rectangles, then this will be equal to area of region PQRS, area of region PQRS. Okay, this is the area of region PQRS. Now what we have said earlier, that the definite integral a to b fx dx is the area of region PQRS. So this sum will be equals to our definite integral a to b fx dx. So in this way we have expressed the definite integral as the limit of the sum. Okay, now next we will do some questions based on limit of a sum, definite integral is the limit of sum. Okay, so this is our formula, definite integral as the limit of a sum. A to b fx dx equal to limit of h fa plus h up to fa plus n minus h when h tends to 0. Here nh equal to b minus a, because the rectangles were divided into n parts. Area is divided into n parts with width and rectangles with width h. Now we are solving this particular integral. Lower limit is 2, upper limit is 3, and function is x square. So lower limit is denoted by a, that is 2, upper limit b equal to 3, and fx equal to x square. Now nh equal to b minus a gives nh equal to 3 minus 2, that is 1. nh equals to 1. Now according to requirement of formula, we will find the value of fa plus h, and finally fa plus n minus 1h. Now fa equals to f2, a equals to 2, so f2 equal to 2 square, because fx equal to x square, so it will come out as 4. Similarly, we will find the value of fa plus h, that is f2 plus h. If we solve it will come out as 4 plus 4h plus h square. Similarly, value of fa plus 2h is 4 plus 8h plus 4h square. And finally, fa plus n minus 1h equal to f2 plus n minus 1h equal to 4 plus 4 n minus 1h plus n minus 1 whole square h square. So we have found the values of fa plus h up to fa plus n minus 1h. Now we will use the formula. So integral 2 to 3 x square dx equal to limit h and 0 of h. Then we have 4. 4 is the value of fa. Then 4 plus 4h plus h square, that is fa plus h. Then 4 plus 8h plus 4h square, that is a plus f of a plus 2h. And finally we have 4 plus 4 n minus 1h plus n minus 1 square h square, that is the value of fa plus n minus 1h. Now if we rearrange it, then what we have done, we have taken the first subterm of each term. The first term for first subterm of each term is 4. So we have taken all fours in one group, that is 4 plus 4 plus 4 n terms. Then we have collected the term containing h and take out h common. Actually 4h will come out as common, so you will get 4h into 1 plus 2 plus up to n minus 1. Then we will take term containing h square and take h square common. So so what remains is 1 square plus 2 square plus up to n minus 1 square. Now 4 plus 4 plus 4 up to n terms, it will be 4n. Then 1 plus 2 plus then 4h into 1 plus 2 plus up to n minus 1, it is an AP. They will found you can apply the sum of n terms of AP, you will find n minus 1 into n by 2. Then we have sum of squares of n minus 1 terms. So we have already studied the formula. 1 square plus 2 square plus 3 square up to n square equal to n into n plus 1 into 2n plus 1 upon 6. So here we will put n minus 1 in place of n. So we will get the value n minus 1 n into 2n minus 1 upon 6. So in this way we have solved it. Now what we will do, we will take this h which is outside. We will send h inside the bracket. So we will get 4nh. Then if we arrange it, then we will get 4 nh minus h into nh upon 2, then nh minus h into nh into 2nh minus h. We have tried to get nh. We have tried to get maximum number of nh, because nh is constant. Nh is equals to b minus a, that is 1. So we have put the value of nh, that is 1. So you will get this step. And now if we apply the limit h tends 0, we will get the answer as 19 by 3. So this is our solution. Okay. Now we will discuss some properties of definite integrals. Some property we will take. First property is integral a to b fx dx equal to integral a to b ft dt. Then integral a to b fx dx equal to minus integral b to a fx dx. Okay. So if we reverse the order of limits, then sign will be changed. Then a to b fx dx equal to a to c fx dx plus c to b fx dx. Well, c is intermediate point between a and b. Then a to b fx dx equal to a to b f a plus b minus x dx. Okay. Then a to b fx dx equal to 0 to a fx dx equal to 0 to a f of a minus x dx. This property is widely used in almost all the questions. Then we have sixth property, 0 to 2a fx dx. Now there are two possibilities. If f of 2a minus x equal to fx, then the value of this integral is twice 0 to a fx dx, and it will be 0 if f of 2a minus x equal to minus fx. Then minus a to a fx dx, this equals to twice 0 to a fx dx if f of minus x equal to fx. F of minus x equal to fx means f is an even function. Fx is an even function if f of minus x equal to fx, and it will be 0 if f of minus x equal to minus fx, that is f is an odd function. These are the seven properties which we will use in the questions. Okay. Now we will take some examples. First question is this integral 0 to pi by 2 root sin x upon root sin x plus root cos x. We will assume that this integral is I equal to I, and this relation is 1. Okay. So we will use our property. We will use our fifth property that we discussed earlier. That is fifth property. Okay. That is 0 to a fx dx equal to 0 to a f of a minus x dx. So wherever we see x, we will replace it by pi by 2 minus x. Okay. So we are seeing x in sin x and cos x. So we will replace the x of sin x by pi by 2 minus x. So we will get the second step. Now sin pi by 2 minus x is cos x, and cos pi by 2 minus x equal to sin x. So we will get the third step. We will assume the third step as relation number 2, and this is also equal to I. So I have two values, relation 1 and from relation 2. We will add these two values, that is we will add relation 1 and relation 2. So then you will get 2i equal to root sin x plus root cos x upon root sin x plus root cos x. Okay. That means numerator and denominator are same, they will be cancelled out and only 1 will be left. If we solve this, you will get pi by 2. So since 2i equal to pi by 2, therefore I equal to pi by 4. So this completes the solution. Next, now this is again a integral, very important integral, 0 to pi by 4 log 1 plus 10x dx. We will apply fifth property that we have discussed, 0 to pi by 4 log 1 plus 10, and we have replaced x by pi by 4 minus x. Now we will use the formula of 10x minus y, that is 10x minus 10y upon 1 plus 10x 10y. So it comes out to be 1 minus 10x upon 1 plus 10x. If we simplify it, we will get log 2 upon 1 plus 10x. Now property of log is log m by n equal to log m minus log n. Okay. Now we will divide this into two integrals. Log 2 is constant, so we will take out before the sign of integral 0 to pi over 4 dx, then minus 0 to pi over 4 log 1 plus 10x dx. So we got two integrals. Second integral is nothing but our question I, that will become I, and first integral can be easily solved as pi by 4. So I equals to log 2 pi by 4 minus I, that means 2i equal to pi by 4 log 2, or I equal to pi by 8 log 2. So this completes the solution. Now our next question is I equal to 0 to pi by 2 sin x minus cos x upon 1 plus sin x cos x dx. Again we use the same property, replace x by pi by 2 minus x. So we will get 0 to pi by 2 sin pi by 2 minus x minus cos pi by 2 minus x, 1 plus sin pi by 2 minus x into cos pi by 2 minus x. So this comes out to be cos x minus sin x upon 1 plus cos x sin x. If we take out minus common, then you can easily observe that we get the question, integral of question. Okay, so there is I, so we will get I equal to minus I or 2I equal to 0, that is I equal to 0. Okay, so this completes the solution.